So terrestrial animals are animals that live on land, and we were talking about the camel that has very thick skin and less hair on its body, and it has a hump on its back that stores fat. So therefore they can travel for days without having to eat anything. Because of the hump that stores a lot of fat, the camel can travel for many days without taking in any food. Animals like polar bear that live in cold regions have a very thick skin covered with fur that keeps them warm. So in the case of the polar bear, it has very thick skin and we're covered with fur to keep them warm. Animals like seal and penguin are well adapted to live in freezing cold environment. So you have animals like your seal and the penguin that can survive in very cold regions. These animals have a very thick layer of fat under their skin called blubber. So this thick layer of fat called blubber protects them from extreme cold. So the presence of the hump on the camel's back enables it to travel for many days without intake of any food. We have the polar bear that lives in very cold regions, and it has a very thick skin covered with fur in order to protect it or to keep it warm. And then the animals like your seal and penguin can survive in very cold regions because of a very thick layer of fat under their skin. That layer of fat is called the blubber, and this blubber protects them from extreme cold. So this is about the terrestrial animals. So animals that live on land are called as terrestrial animals, and the examples are your elephant, your cat, your dog, your snake, your camel, etc. And there are animals that live in deserts and their body is accustomed to the extremely hot climate, and animals that live in the cold regions like your polar bear and the seal and penguin that live in freezing temperature. Next is the aquatic animals. So the next type of animals, so the first was your terrestrial animals. So animals that live on land are known as the terrestrial animals. Next is your aquatic animals. So the animals that live in water are known as aquatic animals. So animals that live in water are known as aquatic animals. So example of aquatic animals are your fish, octopus and your dolphin. So unlike land animals, aquatic animals have fins or specialized limbs that help them to swim. Also, many aquatic animals like fish breathe through gills, whereas animals that live in terrestrial lands, that is on land, have lungs to breathe, and animals that live in water, that is your fish, have gills to breathe. Whales and dolphins are exceptions as they have lungs to breathe. So apart from fish, we have animals like your whales and dolphins, they have lungs to breathe. So aquatic animals are animals that live in water. Example is your fish, your octopus and your dolphin. And unlike land animals, aquatic animals have fins or specialized limbs to swim, and many aquatic animals like fish breathe through gills, and the whales and dolphins are exceptions as they have lungs to breathe. So first we've seen about terrestrial animals, that is animals that live on land, then aquatic animals, animals that live in water, and the next is your amphibians. So the next group of animals are amphibians. So the animals that can live both on land as well as in water are known as amphibians. So terrestrial animals are animals that live on land, aquatic animals are animals that live in water, and amphibians are animals that live both on land as well as in water. Examples are your frog, your toad, etc. So they have limbs that help them to swim in water. Some of them also have webbed feet to help them swim. And these animals breathe with their moist skin. So unlike land animals that breathe through their lungs and aquatic animals that breathe through their gills, these animals, amphibians, breathe through their moist skin when in water. And they also have lungs to breathe on land. So when in water, these amphibians breathe through their moist skin, and when on land, they have lungs to breathe. So this is about amphibians. So amphibians are animals that live both on land as well as in water. Example is your frog, toad. And they have specialized feet to help them swim, and some of them also have webbed feet to help them to swim. And these animals breathe through their moist skin when in water and use their lungs to breathe when on land. So this is about terrestrial animals, aquatic animals, and your amphibians.